Out of all the motorcycles in the world, the Honda Shadow 750 is definitely one of them. Now, is this the best bike for touring long distance on? Probably not. Is this the best bike for street racing? Well, street racing's not good anyway, so don't do that regardless. But short answer, no. You want to rip sick freaking wheelies down the street? This bike, I don't even know if this bike can do a wheelie. If you guys know of anybody who's done a wheelie on a 750, send me a link. I want to see that. Do you want a good, reliable, all-around motorcycle that can get you to point A, B, and on the weekends, C? Then this may just be the winner chicken dinner. Because it's no secret here on the Lucky Aces Riding Channel, we love the Honda Shadow 750. Partly because I have so much money into mine, and that's not like a maintenance thing, that's like a freaking add-on accessory thing. That's voluntary, that's my choice. More than this bike is worth, so I'm keeping it forever. But I'm going to keep it forever anyway, because I enjoy riding it. It is, in my opinion, it is like the jack of all trades motorcycle, I guess. I was going to say the jack of all trades of motorcycling, but that didn't sound right. Now, a lot of people, myself included, will recommend this as like your first motorcycle. If you want to get into cruisers, I think you could do pretty good with this bike. Because she only weighs probably about 550 pounds. Which honestly, for a cruiser, that's not a lot. That's, I mean, compared to like your typical cruiser, like what do you think of? You think of like a big giant Harley with bags and stuff hanging off of it. Maybe a big old Indian or something like that. I mean, by comparison, this is pretty light. Now, some might think it's a little heavy for a beginner bike, when you compare it to things like the Rebel 250, the older style, the Rebel 300, 500, but it feels good for what it is. It's really easy to ride. I gotta have some of them member berries to try to remember, freaking back when this thing was stock, because I put the apes on over 2 years ago and I have not looked back. And actually, this was actually my first actual real bike. I say a real bike because I had one like 10 years ago. It was like an 85 Nighthawk, 450. But that thing was never like street legal or registered and actually like ran correctly. So this is like actually my first one. We'll just count this as the first. And here I am, almost 3.5 years later, I'm still riding my Shadow 750. Because for the type of riding I do, it just fits the bill. The majority of my riding consists of like 65 miles per hour or less. It's stuff like this. It's cutting through Raleigh, doing like stop and go city stuff, and that's mainly what I do. This bike you can tour on this bike if you wanted to. It'll do it. I mean, other people have done it, and honestly, one of the reasons I still have it is because it's fun to ride. Now, I have a 1600 Kawasaki Mean Streak as well, so I got a big boy cruiser too. Trust me, that thing freaking scoots compared to this. But this bike is really forgiving too. Like if you twist the throttle too hard, like look, nothing really bad happened. I'm too close to these cars now, so that's kind of on me, but if you make a little mistake, you're not going to end up in the ditch over there. And I really enjoy taking this bike to work, too. It makes an excellent daily commuter. As long as you don't, like, cut the back of the frame off and do a bunch of goofy modifications like I did. Which, I mean, hey, it's your bike, knock yourself out. Trust me, I would never tell anybody not to modify their motorcycle, because that's the personal touch. That's the bit of you that you put into the bike, because you're the one riding it, you're the one living with it. You got to be one with the machine, so to speak. But even in stock form, they're great. I mean, 50 plus miles to the gallon? What? Talk about a gas saver. Not to mention pulling up in style. And you know what? It's a great way to relax on the way to work. And it's a great way to relax on the way home from work. I had to pause because of that state trooper. I didn't want to be flailing my arms around. You might be thinking, well, what about long tricks, Lucky Aces? You said it's not good for on the highway. I didn't say it wasn't good. I just said it wasn't really, like, ideal. That's because I think there's other bikes that are better suited for it. And you can take big trips on this thing. I mean, lots of people have. I haven't personally. That's because I just don't really go on big trips. I don't have that burning desire in me to go out there and see the world. Heck, man, throw a set of saddlebags on this thing, a sissy bar, throw a backpack on if you want, mount some stuff and rock and roll, brother. She'll do it all day long. Just keep in mind, above like 70, she's going to get kind of buzzy. She'll be turning close to 4,000 RPM, which is a little uncomfortable for some people. But in my opinion, if you want a good, reliable motorcycle that is perfect for cruising down quiet country roads, zipping around town, going out to lunch every now and again, I'd say bar hopping, but I don't really condone like the whole drinking and riding thing. I understand, hey, everybody personal choice, you do whatever you want. Lucky Aces here ain't gonna tell you what to do, what not to do. Lucky Aces just wants everybody to be safe. Because we all got people that love us, and I want you to get home so you can hug them again. So is the Honda Shadow 750 the greatest motorcycle in the world? Probably not. Is it an excellent beginner motorcycle? Yes. Is it an excellent second motorcycle? Because that's the thing too. I mean, they make great second bikes, and these things are pretty cheap too. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's any reason not to have them hanging around. If you wanted to buy a new one, you're only out like maybe what, or you're around $8 grand US. I paid $2,800 for this 2008 and 2021 with 13,000 miles on it. Other than the custom mods, I mean, I've changed tires and changed the oil, and that's kind of it. It's been great. But if you're gonna buy used and you're looking at one that's like 10 or more years old, don't pay over $3,000, because they made so many of these things, so many of them. There's no reason to overpay. Not to mention, because they made so many, parts are everywhere. I mean, you can get as wild as you want to be. I mean, just check this video out right here. And as always, y'all be good. See ya.